and welcome to my book nook. For those that are new around here, the name's Rainy Barton. I teach elementary music and I also love to read books. Thriller, horror, romance, fantasy, sci-fi, doesn't matter what it is, I will basically read it. So if you're interested in that type of content, please like and subscribe to my channel down below. It really helps my channel grow. Today's video, we are going to be doing a quarterly book haul. I decided it would be fun since I'm actually tracking what I am buying on my reading tracker that I'm using, which I will link to the reading tracker I use underneath here. I can't remember the name of who made it, but it is a fabulous reading tracker. I'm tracking how much I'm reading, also how much I'm spending, how much I'm buying, a lot of different things. And so I might not share all of the facts with you, but I'm going to share some of them before we start. But I have like 32 or 33 books to share with you. Yes, I have hauled that many in quarter one alone. And I thought I was doing really good. Not as good as I thought. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to think about it. Let's just talk about all of the books that I have hauled. And first, let me give you like one little bit of data super quick. At this current moment, as of quarter one, I have bought 35 books, and no, I did not buy them all at full price. And I have currently read 29% of them. So I'm almost at 30% reading the books that I am bringing in quarter one, which I must say is much better statistic than I thought. I thought it was going to be like 2%, but I'm actually reading the books that I am bringing in. So you know what? I feel like that is an acceptable use of my money then. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent. I was going to do that and I decided I didn't want to do that. So you know what? It is what it is. I'm also supposed to be tracking on hauls and I didn't do that because I did unhaul like 20 books in February and I did make money for it, but I did not track that. I could go to my unhaul video and track that right now for y'all, but I don't really feel like doing that. So you know what? It is what it is. So if I had done that, I could have subtracted and let you know how much money I actually spent. But also the data that we're going to give you. So now I'm just going to kind of go in order of like when I bought these books, if I bought them for a specific purpose, have I read them yet? I'm not going to explain the synopsis for each one or we'll be here 5 million years. Okay, so the very first book that I bought in January was Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma, and I actually bought this for my boy band's readathon that I hosted back in February. And I actually did not get to it. It was on my list and I didn't get to it. It's a very taboo romance that I've talked about before on this channel that involves incest between a brother and sister, but apparently it is so powerful that like people overlook that. I don't know, but it's the first book I read. I bought it off Pango and I do plan on getting to it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. The next book that I bought, I don't remember why I bought it. I think I bought it just because I wanted to know what all the hype was about. However, it is a very, very long contemporary romance, almost 600 pages long, so I don't know when I'm going to get to it. And that's Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I know this was a big hit last year all over Instagram and Book Talk and BookTube, so I know I need to get to it. I'm pretty sure I bought it just so I could say that I own it, but I don't have any plans of reading it anytime soon. So I don't know. The next one I'm going to pop up on the screen. If I've read the books, they're in my room and my son is asleep right now. So I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna go grab them. I'll just pop it on the screen. The next book that I bought is Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica. I read this as a huge buddy read with Haley Hughes and a bunch of other people in our Pretty Girls book club. And I did read it, and I believe I gave it 2.5 to 3 stars. I can't remember exactly because I did not enjoy where it went. The twist was just stupid to me. I didn't feel like it was set up well, and I kept confusing these two characters because they were both teachers and like wives, and it was just very confusing. It was just not that great of a time for me. And that's the only Mary Kubica book I've read. I'm not opposed to reading other books by hers, but that one was just meh. And up next, we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I did buy this for not only an anticipated release of the year, but also to read for Gabby's book trip for March, and I did not read it for March. I am currently 60% of the way through it, so I'm counting it as I read it. What is my status on it? Not going to give too much away because I am literally recording a vlog for it right now. But, I was liking it, and then it got really weird with some puppet stuff, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. After that, I also bought We Sold Our Souls by Mr. Grady Hendrix. And if you don't know by now, I have a very hit or miss relationship with him. I either love his stuff or hate it. That was a hate it, trash and burn, like 1 star, like hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it. I just could not get into it. I bought that specifically for my boy band readathon because that was the buddy read that I chose for my team. And I feel bad because every person that read it on my team hated it. And I made them suffer through that awful travesty. And I apologize. If you're watching this and you were on my team, Backstreet Boys, I am sorry I made us endure that because that was awful. And I've already unhauled it like pretty sure it doesn't even exist in my house anymore. I hated it that much. Then, when I was at this fun little bookstore in Jacksonville, I was also going to read this for the boy band's readathon, and it was just there, and I knew it was time, and I was buddy reading it with some friends, and that was Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I did read this with a couple of my friends from Bestie's Book Club. We all loved it, gave it 4 or 5 stars. I think I gave it a 4-star just because it was a middle grade. And middle grades don't normally get 5 stars for me, but this was fantastic. I thought it was so cute and magical. I cannot wait to read the second one. I need to read the second one soon because the third one comes out, I think, this year. But this was just a fun, whimsical time. I really did enjoy it, and I don't typically read middle grade. And while I was at this same cute little bookstore in Jacksonville, I saw that they had for cheap Eric LaRocca books, and I do love me some good horror books. So I got We Can Never Leave This Place, which is a short little novella, and then I also got You've Lost a Lot of Blood, which I believe is a story within a story. No, I haven't read either one of these yet, but I've read his other one, his most popular one that I am blanking on the name right now. I'll try and pop up a picture if you need to remember which one it is. But I am excited to read these. I'm supposed to read this one with my husband, actually. He said he would read this with me because it was so short. And we were going to do a fun little novella vlog for that. And so I plan on doing that. But I love me Eric LaRocca, so I bought both of these. Then while we were at that same bookstore, this is the last book that I bought there because I saw it, and I'm actually going to be doing a taste test vlog on this author probably October time, and that is The Return by Rachel Harrison. This is the same author that did Cackle and Such Sharp Teeth, which I own all of those, and I don't know much about this. All I know is it's about a friend that disappeared and then a stranger returned in her place. And I actually just saw Books and Lala read this, and she actually really enjoyed it, but apparently it's like has one of those twists that you're either here for or you're not. And so I will find out come October whether I'm here for that or not. Then I bought this while I was actually on Sprints with my friends because they were talking about this series and I wanted to pick it up, and I happened to go on Amazon and they were selling a used copy of this for $3, and it's in like perfect mint condition, and it's like a library book. And that is the second book in the oh dear Lord, what is the second book in the series of The Extraordinary Adventures of the Athena Club, which the first book is called The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss, but the book that I bought is the sequel, which is European Travel for the Monstrous Gentlewoman, which this book is a freaking chunker. It's like 700 pages, and I got it for $3, and it's in like mint condition. But I had heard that this was actually going out of stock, and so I was like, oh, I actually need to like buy this whole series then before like it goes out of stock print. And so I need to buy the third one still, because it's a trilogy. But I want to get to this at some point. But like I said, I don't know when. Then we have my lovely friend Hannah's book, The End and Then, which I bought a signed copy from her. I also received an ARC from her, a digital ARC copy. I'll pop it up here. I loved that book. It was beautiful. It's one of my favorite books of the year so far. I just love the way that she uses her own personal tragedy that she went through and turned it into something beautiful. Like, this story is truly a beautiful story, and I just can't imagine anyone actually going through what happened in this book. And it was just so good and so beautiful, and I loved it, and I highly recommend it. So very glad that I got to that. Then we also have Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun by Elle Cosimano, which is the third book in the Finlay Donovan series. It was just a 3-star read for me. Or no, it was a 3.5, I think, or a 3-star. I can't remember. It like was kind of a filler book. It didn't really need to exist, but now she's just signed on to having at least 7 books in the series. So I'm hoping the next book will like actually take us somewhere. I didn't really like the whole plot. It like took place at a police academy, and like it all just felt like something that wouldn't have actually happened. I don't know. It was just there. I mean, I still loved it because I love Finlay. I love Vero. I love the characters. I love the world. But like, it was just a standard cozy mystery, if anything at that. And I read as an ebook that I bought on my Kindle, Plastic Monsters by Daniel Volpe. I read that for Reading Riley's book club in February, and that was like a 2-star. It was a very bad horror novella. It was clearly written by a man who was trying to write as if it was from a woman's perspective, and he did a terrible job because he is a man writing from a woman's perspective about beauty and how women view themselves, and it was not good. It was not good. I will say it was extreme horror, and I was not expecting that, but it was still not good. Then I also bought the Zodiac Academy prequel. It's like book 0. It's Origins of an Academy Bully. It's like 150-page a novella, It basically takes place, I think, 5 years before book 1 of Zodiac Academy, which I read in January, takes place. And it basically just explains the relationship between these two characters that are main characters in the first book, who, like, seem to hate each other, but, like, also are always having to be together. And it explains how they got to where they were. It was a very good prequel. I read it over one sprint, I'm pretty sure, and I had a great time with it. I am really liking the Zodiac Academy series. I mean, yeah, it's cheesy, it's YA, but I'm having a good time with it, and I've read the prequel in book 1 so far, so I'm just going in the recommended order that the authors provided. Then we have the third book in the Magnolia Parks series, The Long Way Home by Magnolia Parks. We all know that I'm obsessed with Magnolia Parks by Jessica Hastings, and it is fantastic. I am currently about to start Daisy Hates as a buddy read with my friend Neva, and then I had to get the third one. I still need to get Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, but I'm slowly collecting these because they're like 25 to 30 bucks a pop. But yeah, I'm ready to get back into this world, so I kind of need to do that ASAP because Magnolia Parks is currently my favorite read of the year. Then we have a book that I bought in February specifically for the team read for Rom-Comathon, and I did not get to it, and I've actually heard bad things about it, but it's by the same people that wrote The Roughest Draft, and that is Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund-Broca, who wrote Do I Know You? And this is apparently about some couple that really should be getting divorced, but they go on this, like, last chance romance trip, and they get, like, accidentally called newlyweds or like brand new dating people, and they decide to like role play into that, and it like kind of saves their marriage or not. I actually haven't heard fantastic things about this, but I'll still probably read it because Roughest Draft was a 5-star for me, so you never know. And then I bought this at Books A Million when I was there simply because I've been wanting to read this for so long, and I saw it and it just spoke to me, and that is Addicted to You, which is the first book in this series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I have heard lots of fantastic things about this romance like thing. I know it's about a girl that's addicted to sex and a guy that's addicted to booze, and the only way out is rock bottom. And of course they shouldn't be together, but they are. Like another toxic relationship. Are we surprised that I'm like in love with toxic relationships? I think not. And when I went on my book unhaul, these are the books that I got at the book unhaul at my local Second and Charles. The first book was Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I own the second book, Vengeful, already, and I'm pretty sure but the thing is, I don't have them both in paperback or hardcover. The hardcover one I have was a signed copy, and it was $3, so I bought it. And then I bought this because it was $2, but they don't match. But you know what? It is what it is. This is the first one in a V.E. Schwab duology, and I don't know much about it, but I'm excited to hopefully get to it at some time soon. Then at that same sale, I also bought Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson, which I had honestly never heard of until like 3 days before that book sale. And it was through Books and Lala, and I think it's her favorite book of the year currently, she said. And I'm pretty sure it's about like roommates that used to be close and they're not anymore, and then one of them has to move in with the other, and then her twin stepkids spontaneously combust when they get agitated. I don't know much about it. I mean, there's a spontaneously combusting kid on the cover, but I am stoked to read it, and it has deckled edges, and you know what? That is always just a plus in my mind. And we have 2 of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, and they are not the From Blood and Ash series. They are from some other series that she wrote before that. Wait for You and Be With Me. And I don't know much about this, but I saw them and decided I wanted to have them in my life. I've heard a little bit about them from, I believe, McKay on Oh Hey It's McKay, but I don't really know what they're about. But I figured I'll get to them at one point, and if I love them, great. If I don't, I don't. But they were like $2 a pop. And I actually bought Mothered by Zoya Stage, and this I bought as a new release in March because I was doing a buddy read with Haley Hughes, which we read Baby Teeth and this. And so if you did not see that vlog, I will link to that underneath here because it came out like probably 2 weeks ago. And we loved Baby Teeth and we hated Mothered. This was like a 2-star, a sludge, really hard to get through. It is a pandemic book. It takes place during a pandemic, and that's not even why I didn't enjoy this book. I thought like it honestly did nothing, and the main character was like so unreliable to the point that it was like really obnoxious, and I could not handle it even a little, and didn't care to. So it was not a good time. Then I love going on Pango and trying to find original copies of books that like dark romance books that like they don't sell those covers anymore, because I am an original covers girly. I'm all about the hot man on the cover. Like, I don't even care. I'm not ashamed to say that. And so I got the first 2 books in the Priest series by Sierra Simone. I got Priest and I got Sinner. I'm still trying to find the last one, which is Saint. Find the original cover. And Sierra Simone is not actually selling any signed copies on hers, because I learned Sophie Lark does sell signed copies, so I'm able to get the whole Brutal Prince series still with that. But I'm very excited about these. Obviously, it's about like a priest that breaks his priest rules, and then I believe this is another person in his convent. Not entirely sure, but I love these covers, and I'm not ashamed that I bought them. And I do plan on getting to this series very soon. And then I bought this at Target, honestly, because I saw it, and I've been wanting it for over a year. And you know when you see a book and you're finally just like, Rainy, just buy it already. You keep not buying it, but you want it so bad. And that is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I don't know where it is currently. I think I packed it in my hospital bag because I wanted books that I knew I would enjoy in the hospital when I'm in labor. Yeah, I know. I feel like I think I'm gonna be reading in the hospital. Who knows, you know? Anyway, that one I'm pretty sure is about a husband that cheats on his wife, and then the girl that he cheats with ends up dead, and his wife, who's a lawyer, has to protect her husband. Why she would protect him, I don't know, because he's a literal sack of crap, but whatever. Anyway, I've been wanting to read this for forever. I know I'm going to read it soon, so I just had to have it because I loved her other book, One of Us is Dead, like so much, and I can't wait for her new book that comes out in April. I have another book that I'm currently reading, and I'm 30% of the way through, and I'm loving it, and it is up there, possibly, to be my favorite of the year, along with Magnolia Parks, and that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I am loving it. It is a fantasy romance book about vampires, and honestly, it could not get any better than that. I am loving it. I love the writing. I love the world building. I love the romance that's going on. I honestly love everything about it, and she's probably going to be a new favorite author for me, and I want to read everything that she ever writes, and she has a novella set in this world, and she has a sequel coming out in like 10 days, so you know what? She gonna be someone to take note of in April. Then I went to Books A Million at the end of March because I just wanted to get some books, and I thought I hadn't been there in a while. That's funny, Rainy. Ha ha hee hee. And I got Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese, which is a modern retelling or imagining of Shakespeare's beloved comedy, Much Ado About Nothing. I don't know much about it, but I know that I love the cover and that a lot of people told me I would love it. I literally shared this in my Instagram stories and had 4 people tell me I need to start it ASAP. So it's definitely up there for me. And then I got the first book in the Twisted Love series by Anna Huang because this is another series that I've been wanting to read and I keep seeing it. And I did try to find the original covers for this, but this has been a harder journey. People are selling that shit for like $80 to $300, and I'm like, I'm not spending that much on this book because I've also heard that book 1 is not even nearly as good as the rest of the series. So why would I waste my time with that? I don't even know. Let's talk about my book of the month books that I forgot to track until I was literally getting ready for this book haul. And I always get 3 books every month. I did skip March though, so I only have 6 books to share with you. In January, I bought Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis because it is like the book of the month, book of the year, and I wanted to know what all the hype was about. And everyone that I know that has read it has said that they've absolutely loved it and are living for it, so I knew I had to have it. I do still plan on reading it very, very soon for a vlog. I'm not going to tell you what that vlog is, but it is coming. And then I also bought Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I had it in paperback, but I wanted it in the Book of the Month edition so that I could also get Hellbent come February. And so I did buy that. And no, I have not read this yet, but I do plan on doing a Dark Academia vlog at some point so I can fulfill this and make sure I read it. And then I also got What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. I don't know where it is right now. I know I'm reading it currently for Gabby's book troop selection for April, so it's going to be read this month. But I'm pretty sure it's about 2 little girls that their friend is attacked by a serial killer in the woods, like when they're younger, and they convict someone of jail, but they lie about it, and I'm not really sure where the lie is and all that. But that's all that I know. It sounds good. I'm excited, and I'm going to read it this month. And in February, I ended up picking up The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, which from Book of the Month, which I am reading this currently as well, not only for a buddy read with a bunch of my friends, which some of them are loving this and some of them are not, and I'm very behind in this buddy read, but I'm also reading this for Books and Lala's Literally Dead book club selection for this month. And I know it's about a writing retreat, and some stuff goes wrong in a snowy setting. Could not be a better description than that. I also got The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis. This is the guy that wrote American Psycho. No, I have not read American Psycho. I do plan on reading that. Also, this book is like 600 pages. Do I know what it's about? No, not even a little, but it looked interesting to me, so that's why I bought it. And then I also bought Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo because obviously if I'm going to own Ninth House and the sequel just came out, I might as well have the sequel. Do I have a plan to read these anytime soon? Not necessarily, but one day. And then I did buy 3 books for Book of the Month in April, but you can find out what those books are come April. And I did skip March because I didn't like anything. Although I did get a book in April from the March selections, but you'll find that out about in April. So anyway, those are the 35 books that I have acquired over the last quarter. Let me know, out of any of those books that I said I have not read yet, which ones I should prioritize. Let me know if there's any that you've read, that you've enjoyed or hated. I would love to know if we're also hauling the same type of books. Also, just let me know if you like book hauls, if you think this quarterly one is a good idea. I do like tracking it, so that hopefully I can see at the end of the year, like for this year specifically, if I'm tracking my spending habits, which I will say my spending habits are better than last year already. I can start to make changes to work for me. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another video very, very soon. Bye!